Councilman Gross
Yes.
and Supervisor Wrights.
No. Motion carries
Passed 3 to
3
2.
votes to 2. And I regret to see that. But there it is.
We have
Let's
an
move on.
obligation
All
to
right,
protect
let's move
the
on.
town.
Let's
We
go.
have additional items on the agenda.
Where are we, 31?
Item 31, RFP for town architect.
I had placed this on the agenda tonight. I would ask that we defer this to a work session for a discussion regarding the RFP and the contents of the RFP. But certainly by the next voting meeting, I would like to have a vote on the form of the RFP that will be sent out for the town architect.
Okay, Liz, I'll treat that as a motion, which I second, to defer. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Item 32, RFP for engineering. Levon, would you like to speak to this? We have with us this evening Special Districts Coordinator and Facilities Manager, Levon Bedrosian. Levon, welcome.
Hi, how you doing? I circulated RFPs for the environmental engineer to the town board. I'm waiting for the approval to move forward. I provided several emails. I've only received one response back from one member, and so until I get a unanimous, or actually a majority, I should say, response, I can't move forward. So I don't know if you need anything else from me at this time.
I understand. Do you have a time deadline in mind?
I don't have it in front of me. It's in the email. You guys have that there in the email.
All right.
But those deadlines are actually
Yeah.
not going to do any longer because we've waited so long. It's going to probably go back a month or a couple weeks past of what's down there.
I agree. It's a new enterprise for us. It's something that I had sought in the past, which is RFPs for engineering services. It's something that the New York State Comptroller is insisting, and votes in the past have been 3 to 2 to defeat. Now, as I say, it's 3 to 3 because the Comptroller agrees with me and with Dwight. And it's just taking us a while to craft these RFPs.
So I just need the input. If you guys can review the RFP, make sure that it satisfies the needs
Yeah,
that you
I
want.
looked it over. I answered, I think, right?
Right, yeah, you answered. If there's any questions or comments, or if you think something needs to be added, let me know. And once I get that, then we can put the legal notice in the paper. The RFP for town planner and the RFP for town engineer is almost completed, and I have to give that to the highway superintendent for review, because he works with the town planner or the town engineer. And I'm going to give the planning department chairman the RFP for a planner, town planner, so that they can review it, make sure it has all the components that they need in it. And once they approve it and give their feedback, then I'll circulate that to the town board also. It should probably be this month. So that should
Fair
be
enough.
completed. Okay.
I think you did a nice job on this package here. We're going to take a look at it, and the reason why we're doing this, once again, is to save the community some money. So what we're looking to do is why we're putting out these requests for proposals or RFPs is we're looking for at least a 20% savings in some of these engineering firms as what they've been charging this community for years. It needs to be relooked at. We need to put it out to bid, get competitive market prices today, as opposed to, as we always say, business as usual. So this is a fairly new concept here in the town of Southeast, putting out these requests for proposals, but you've done an excellent job on it, and I look forward for us voting on this and looking for very competitive prices.
If you just send an email back saying that you approved it and so forth, I can move forward on it. I don't need to wait for another work session or a voting meeting if you want.
Thank you, Levon.
All right, thanks, Levon. Then I move we defer this as recommended. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And number 33, RFP for town attorney. Liz, did you have a chance to take a look at that?
Sure. As a matter of fact, once again, we need to take into account a couple of considerations. In the first instance, the current town attorney, or who we appointed last January as town attorney, is Willis Stevens. He's at the end here. Pursuant to town law, he serves until the next biennial election. So pursuant to Section 24, I believe it is, of the town law, Mr. Stevens, as town attorney, is the town attorney until then, and performing certain duties. The issue that I had brought up the last time we were here when we discussed this is what duties are we now going to ascribe to the town attorney, and what duties are we going to identify as being outside of what he ordinarily performs. I had suggested that we would do separate RFPs for the prosecutorial functions, That would include prosecuting town code violations and also the traffic court violations. That being said, what I believe, once again, that we should do is to draft the RFPs for the prosecutorial services and then to craft what we believe are the responsibilities of the town attorney Willis, who was appointed last year for that biennial 2-year term. So I would suggest that if we're going to say that the town attorney's duties, as what the town attorney, I believe the town attorney presently performs, is consultation and preparation of agendas, regular special work session meetings of the board, the preparation of notices through the town clerk's office, and that would be public notices. That would be any notices, you've seen them in the paper, hopefully. Drafting of resolutions, you've heard us debate, and for some period of time tonight, a resolution. Research, prepare written legal memoranda responding to issues and questions presented by the board, to give us some guidance as to our Robert's rules or any parliamentary type procedure. Consultations on intermunicipal affairs. We have also, as everyone knows, the MS4 that's coming up. In addition to negotiate and review contracts and attend all meetings of the town board and all regular and special meetings of the planning board and zoning board of appeals. Consult with members of the planning board and the ZBA as far as zoning law and practice. Be open and available to independent engineering consultants who would need some guidance legally as to
Liz,
matters.
this is the first time I'm hearing of this tonight. Why don't you circulate this, allow us to read it all, and then we'll work on it at our work session.
Well, actually,
Is
it
that
was
reasonable?
something. It was something that I had asked to get some guidance from Mr. Stevens. And,
Okay, that's fair.
So the
The
bottom
hour's
line
late,
is,
but rather than read it all tonight,
if
we
it-
would prefer copies.
Okay, certainly. So, well, I want to make certain. You asked me what I had done, so I thought maybe you wanted to hear it.
Well,
But
I
at
did.
this point, okay, so now we'll move it along, but I will circulate this, and in addition, circulate the independent, I still haven't heard from the supervisor as to his, whether or not he agrees that there would be a separate RFP for prosecutorial functions. So I will just simply do that.
Yes, I'm on record as saying no. All duties, all municipal legal counsel duties should be consolidated, are consolidated, and need to be handled under salary as the New York State Comptroller raised questions about and is recommending,
Yeah.
in my estimation.
I don't
And that-
recall that.
That's where we got the
Okay.
Comptroller's report and in questions of in excess of $117,000 in overpayments, an issue which was referred to, pardon me, Will, I have the floor. Thank you. An issue which was referred by the New York State Comptroller to the New York State and local retirement system, the New York State Pension Fund, for their review. We need to settle that issue, not tonight, as we're crafting our response on stratified levels to the multiplicity of issues raised by the Comptroller.
And I want the board to consider, after Ms. Hudak hands us what she has prepared, that I'm on record also as saying that any document that has the town of Southeast on it should be handled by the town attorney. What has happened, I guess it would be the history of the town attorney, is that he would craft documents and do other things, but then certain documents, without guidance, has been charged to this town and billed to this town at $125 an hour. So if we're going to go based on Ms. Hudak's proposal that we allow other areas to be separate and to be billed separate, then we should have a separate attorney do that, not the town attorney. Because what has happened is the town attorney collects a salary. In 2007, the salary was $99,000, but then contractually, what he got for $125,000 was $126,000, $410. And then in 2008, we have a $101,000 salary, and then on top of that, you had $121,534, which was part of that $125 an hour. In 2009, the salary was $105,539. On top of that, at $125 an hour, the town attorney received $138,064. And then last year, and I don't have the final figures, but his salary was $109,000, $497, and contractually, he's billed over $100,000 and is on par for over $250,000. So this is what I'm concerned about. We either pay the salary or increase the salary, there's extra work, but to continue to pay a salary and then pay the same person, not another firm, as we put out RFPs for other things, we're now paying the same person $125 an hour. I can understand that if you're overworked, we'll give the work somewhere else. But if you're the town attorney, you're making over $100,000. If you need more for the extra work, fine, we'll pay you that. But I'm not in the position to pay additional $125 in excess of $120,000 a year to the same person, okay? We'll just put it into the one-person package. He can handle it all, and we can get a 20% discount. If that's not sufficient here with the town attorney, there are other attorneys out. That's why we're putting out the RFP. We need to save money. We're talking about $250,000 a year, traditionally, for years, on and on and on. Something's wrong here, all right? Business as usual needs to stop. And I understand Ms. Hudak's point that he's appointed by this town board for a 2-year period. This town board can also make a new appointment at any time. Nothing says in the law that it stays for 2 years. It's just a matter of this vote and the integrity of this town board to say, wait a second, we need to watch out how we're spending. And on the heels of your 10%, 5%, 0% tax hike, it's too much money. We need to cut at the engineering level, town attorney level, garbage contracts, air conditioning. We have to look at everything. I want the bickering to stop on this board. Community is paying too much money. And you know what? I actually have to tell you, Mr. Gross, Mr. Cullen, Mr. Hudak, I enjoy the bickering, because I know I am fighting for this community. I'm fighting for what I believe is right. There are members in this audience who come week after week who are fans of excessive spending, who cheer it on and continue to go. I am here to fight for each dollar in this community. All right? When you're looking at $250,000 in attorney fees in one man, and then you look at, we have to get an RFP for this attorney, an RFP for that attorney. Our legal fees are tremendous. Something's wrong, okay? Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, just...
So we
I
should
just-
defer this.
Well, no, I just want to make certain now, because what Councilmember you just said was that he does want a 2-part type RFP. So just to move this along, what I will do is I'll prepare for the board to consider RFPs that join all of the services together, which quite frankly I don't think is, I don't know whether or not that's an efficient way of, or how you would do it. I do know I've looked at other,
That's the process now.
RFPs.
being done now?
There's actually one out there for the town of Patterson,
Anything to
which
protect
is
status
quite,
quo.
I don't know why, I don't really talk like this. They have a conversation. It really is annoying. But in any event, I'll just speak a little louder.
we just want to
I
accept
spoke to
competition
the Patterson. The Patterson has an RFP out, which is very, very long and very comprehensive. I've looked at the town of Carmel, which, by the way, pays their town attorney. They have a number of town attorneys, and they pay one of their town attorneys on a salary and $125 an hour for certain services. So what I will do is prepare. Pardon me? It's wrong?
No. I said those days are over.
When the town, I don't know about
No,
town
when
of
you
Carmel.
have
Town of Carmel
continued,
has it. So
Practices in the you asked me a question?
no.
Right, so those days are over, because when you have the continued practice of attorneys charging a salary and billing towns, you mentioned that Patterson is changing their town attorney. That's only because Patterson's town attorney, Ms. Hudak, and many people are well aware of, was a Curtis and Leibel firm.
No, actually,
Okay,
I don't
that's
know
why
if they're
changing it.
changing them. I just
But,
said that there's an
they're putting an
RFP.
RFP out there.
I don't think that
This is the area of corruption that I want
there's
to make
not,
sure
there's
this
not
town is
a,
not.
it doesn't mean that we're changing the town
This is the
attorney
area
here.
of
What it
town.
means is the town attorneys are, I think that I think that I heard Councilmember Yee say that it's just good because it increases competition,
Liz.
and we may have, no, don't interrupt me, Supervisor, because Councilmember Yee spoke for an extended period of time, and you never interrupted. Never. So I am not going to be interrupted.
I don't repeat
The
them.
bottom line is, no, believe me, repetitiveness
Please continue.
is a work
Please
of art
continue.
with you.
Please
The bottom line, of course, is that right now, what we have here is a very simple, I want to know what type of RFP is going